Greetings and welcome to Factorio. I'm Dgray, and in today's episode we'll start to set up the last of the few starter items we need. In that regard, all the copper and all the bronze items, and add one more thing to our little steel cell. I noticed this as we were making pylons or the big power poles that we are missing one thing in our steel setup. And that was the wire. The reason for us missing that one was that it wasn't a part of the iron setup. And I hadn't noticed that, but I did now. So to get that up and running very quickly, we'll just copy a little setup here. But we'll kind of have to get the output somewhere else. I don't want to make an entirely new station, so I'll probably just drag it down this way. And into the fourth one we have down here. I think that will be the best solution for this. So let's just copy this little setup here. We only need one input, so this should be fine. If I just steal this and put it over here. Let's see, and if we do it right here, one input. Should we give it a bit of room? We do have some, so let's just do this. And get a robot to construct this for us. Luckily, that is not that hard. And then we'll split off what we need, which is these. Here and split. To here, and let's get some input ones. We need these. Oh. We need these to come just here. Oh. Don't know why I did it like that. I need to do a copy. Just over here. And let's remove these two in the middle. They are not needed. And get down some power poles. There we are. Let's change these to the wire. I think this should be enough to satisfy these. And then we have to drag this all the way around and in this way and all the way down to here. So quite a long way, but we can just take it across this way. So going across right here. I think that will be the best solution for it. So let's just make sure we have enough room to expand if needed. We can always just take it another way. And I wanted to run on the bottom side of this one. So what about right here? Jump, jump. Jump this little bit. And you guys probably already told me that I was missing this. But, oh, we can go down right. No, we'll have to go all the way over. So there might have been a better way than doing it in here. But then we can just do it like that. What a horrible setup. Oh well. That is just the way it is for now. And then it has to go back in this way. Wow, this is not pretty at all. Up here, and then you'll jump from right here to there. Giving us a green wire. Copying that and changing you to wire. Then we should have all the steel thing set up, hopefully. We'll just need to connect up the rest of this. There we go, and the rest should get delivered as soon as we have enough in base. Let's see here. So there. And hopefully we can then fill up all of these. So something missing. Now everything should be fine. And they'll just solely produce, and then we can get it into our base and start to make these. So that should be the last of the steel items. Now let's do a few copies of these. We could probably fit in one right here and one over here. So let's see if we just copy this entire setup. Our base probably can't handle that at the moment, because we're probably not producing enough of these. No, that is definitely the case. So we kind of need to set up more engines. And they are kind of lacking here back in base because of all of these. So what are you lacking? Pretty much just the gears. So we could just get some robots to fly them in for now, since that is what we need. And being stuck with something that stupid is a bit annoying, since we are producing all the things we need for it. So let's just do a temporary solution before we expand this up to greater size. And that is taking a small requested chest and telling it to request steel at a nice steady pace. I would like for you to request gears. We should have those in the network now. Let's get 100 at a time. Cut you and paste you up here. Because we definitely need those engines, and right now they are, or, oh, not there, or Achilles heel. Right there. As the only thing we need is those, from what I understand. So let's hope we can get some motors, and then continue on from there. So while that is producing, let's plan out the other two. The copper one is probably the most important one. It seems a lot of these won't be needed. But let's just place it all down for now, as most of it is probably gonna be useful. So if we look here, let's just take copper. There we go. Copper. We'll need these items just to get them into the base, and hopefully this will produce all we need, and we might have a bit of excess left. So first things first, let's place the copper one right here. We should have more than enough room. Let's just clear the rest of this out. There we go. And then let's copy this entire setup here to the copper one. Let's just do to right here and see if we can't line it up over here. Of course, we'll have to remove the steel input. There we are. Now we just need the robots to place it all. And I'll go change out. Seems most of the things we have. Just need some power. I'll just go change out the small amount down here, which is this one. And hopefully it is turned off. I think it is in the blueprints. But just to be sure, I think we can place this without breaking anything. Turn you off. And change you to copper. That's your like copper ingots in. Again, negative 20k, so we have a bit in storage. I think that'll be fine. So let's see here. Everything is being built at a nice steady pace. We'll just have to update this in a minute. And I'm guessing our base definitely can't handle this amount already. Because if we look at these, they're just missing logic controller and what's it called, copper cables. So we could actually set those up at the mall while this is being built. Oh, and something has doubled name now. 2 names. That's a bit annoying. Let's just call it that for now so we don't run into any problems. And we'll just rename them in a bit. That is my fault for not checking if it took the names or not. Because for some reason it did. And that is not optimal. And the last one down here, just as a temporary name. Not a very good name, but it should make sure that our entire base ain't stopping. So is that all of these with different names? Nothing should be purple now. Everything seems good and green. So that is perfect. Let's go up to our little mall. Might take our trusty little mono vehicle. Small trip up there. And set up the last thing we need to be able to craft all this, because look, we are missing belts and other things before we can continue on. So belts, they need it. The copper things is going to be produced at the new base, and we need tin. We need tin plates. I don't think we're producing that anywhere yet. And we don't really have that many tin items. That is a small amount. Definitely don't need an entire cell for those, but we do need one. So let's see here. Here we would like all of these kinds. So let's start from the end and do the entire row, pretty much. We'd like electric furnace. Advanced electric furnace when we get that one. Electric crusher. Purifier. Water filtration. Electric assembler. Let's get some laboratories. This assembler is not needed. At least not now. We'll need the miner. And is that the last of the things we need from here? We could craft steam engines as well. Just so we have some in storage. I think that will be good to have. These two. And then I don't think we need anything else. That's rather important at the moment. So let's leave it at this for now. And let's just request the things we need. And tax our entire system a small amount. There we go. And let's see how many things we are missing to get all of these done. It seems we are not requesting reinforced iron plates yet. Is that correct? That is correct. So let's just request some reinforced iron plates. In with you. And we'll also need 1,000 of these as soon as it's set up. So how's the building of this going? Still needs a bit. That's because we need an entire row of what it's called. It's called of all the belts. So let's just set up the belts right here. There's quite a lot of products you can make. So this should get delivered quite soon. And there was more of the things we needed for that coming in with the transport, which is very nice. So this should be on its way in. There we go. That was most of it. Come on with the assemblers, please. Shouldn't be that far off. Oh, we are out of power down here. That's just landfill. That's just landfill. So that is not that important, but that's just because we're lacking the pylons. They're lacking the wire, and the wire should be going in very soon. How much do we have down here? We should have enough for it to be requested, so hopefully it will get delivered soon into this area, and we can start to get all the power poles we need. So they might be coming sooner than we think. We are definitely out of trains. But oh well, we'll just... Oh, is it coming here? No, that's just the plates. Our mall is using quite a bit more than I thought it would. But that is fine, that is fine. And if we look down, oh, not down here, we'll soon have all the things we need. So this one. Do you, and you. And we do the fast ones next to it, so we have all of them. And that one. So what if we do you first? And let's see how much of this we have. There we go. We are just missing some copper gears. And here we're just missing the rubber. We actually do have that back at base. Or stored in some of these. So let's just hook that up for now. Just for a little while. Because rubber we have right there. Just outside of range of a rubber port. So there we are. That should solve our issues for a little while. So now we just need this to get done so we can hook it up to all the things we need. And then we can start to supply the copper cables. Let's just say that because that is one of the things we need. Or the steel cables are coming. But we also need copper cables here. And gear wheels. Do we need copper plate for anything? Let's just check what they're used for. Not really anything in here. Oh, it's needed for science. But that's not here, that's somewhere else, so that is fine. So we just need the copper gears in. For now, let's just do that. Copper gear, negative 1000, because I know that is definitely used for something. So where did my mono wheel is all the way up here. Let's just grab that one. And go down and look at our little setup. We do have some built ourselves so we can get it going at least. With some of the starter items. Let's drive here on the train track. What's the worst that can happen? So let's just park this and see if we can't figure out what we can make from here. First things first, let's give this the power it needs. And let's look. If we have copper coming in, we can do the copper plate right here. Let's just fix that one. Also copper plate one. Over here we have the copper rods. That is solved. Over here, do we have copper beams? I don't think we have copper beams anywhere. So we might just leave these as B right now. So doing nothing here. We do have the copper bearings. Let's just hook them up for now so we have them. Oh, copper bearing. Which is used for only burner motors. Let's just get it. You can never have... Did I remove a power pole in the other blueprints? Seems I did. That is not optimal, so let's just fix that. So now I have all of that flowing in. We'll just have to check what is going in over here at the correct places. So that is most things. Copper coming up here. We'll need to change the copper tubes. Because I kind of want to make everything at my base. Copper tubes. Copper rivets. And here we have... That's the copper gears. Those are most definitely needed. We'll go around. Reinforced copper plates we don't have, so you can get decommissioned. But we do have the small and large copper chassis. And the large ones. I know this is a bit of a waste of resources, but it's quite nice to have. Just to have everything in our base, and that's kind of what I'm going for. I don't want to miss anything, and the copper wire. And I think that'll be most of our copper products. I don't think, what are we missing? Those are not really needed, are they? Nope. That's not needed. The rest of them we have. That is being produced elsewhere, so that is fine. So that is pretty much all our copper items that's going to be made here as soon as we hook this up. And we are quite close to being done with this. Let's just add a few of these to the world and see if they can place it themselves. They could. Surprisingly easy. And let's just fix these small things. Yeah, it is going random places, but we should be able to just take in some copper now. I know we'll unload unevenly, but hopefully that will solve itself in the future. No. Let's not make such a stupid mistake as that. Already, there we go. So that's all the unloading. We just need the unloading to be even. The rest can wait. And the reason why I wanted to unload evenly is so we don't have anything piling up. So that should be most of them. Go rate 3 so I can see something. So if we start it now, it shouldn't go completely wrong. Yeah. So if we just activate you, bring in the copper. That'll activate all of these. They'll start to produce that. Then we just need to fix the input ones. This one will be copper plates. The next one over will be... I can actually see what they are. This one won't be used for anything, so that's just fine like that. There we go. And we have copper flowing in. So let's fix the same over here. Copper tube. Copper wire. Rivets. And gears. That's the 4 down here. And then we just need the 4 up top. As the last thing. And we see we're producing 3 out of 4 up here. So that should be easy enough. That one's fine. Let's see here, that one, the large one, and the piston. If you saw me doing anything wrong, putting in the wrong item, do tell me, or else we'll have a huge problem on our hands in the future. When the things don't fill up. And I just saw an issue over here. Seems the train tracks ain't connected up. So let's take our little trusty blueprint just and place it down on top of this. Again, there we are. Oh. There we are, so we get all... Why can't you place one right there? Is there water or something right here? Seems to be a bit of water. There we go, that was why. Oh, and a ton of robots down here need some power. And that might actually be the reason why we didn't have the rest of these put down. Or filled in even, is what I was about to say. So let's see if we can't just hook this up and then the rest will build by itself. So now the copper train should be going down here and starting to flow into this entire setup. And that will give us what we need for our little mall. Where did the solar panels go? Right here. And then we have most of the things we need for this, and we can start to produce this. And then the only thing we pretty much need to make to this is all the engines, and we need to make the next part of the Logi controller. And for that we need the copper cables, which is being produced now. And we'll just transport that in, or make him on site. I don't know what the best solution is. It's a 1-for-1 production, so we might just take him in. It might not be the best or most optimal solution, but with this setup it should be fine. So here comes these. Let's just check that it's all working before I leave it, since that's just good due diligence, I think it's called. So let's see, that will go in here. That'll go over there, but there shouldn't be any issues with this setup. So that'll start to activate everything here. Oh, I love watching this flow in. And then soon we'll have this at the mall. Going up here, starting to make the pistons. There might be some other items not needed anymore, but we'll just have an extra row of those stacking up. It should only be the first kind of item, so it shouldn't be too bad. Okay, and that's going in over here. That's producing these. Here it goes for the copper gear. That's flowing in, and it seems that everything is working as it should and as intended. So we can leave this now. We are also producing our wire. So that is working exactly like it should. So let's just mark this the copper one. Let's do it with the plate like always. And then we just need to hook up a tin one. But tin doesn't really have that many items, but we do need them for what's it called? The later stages and for science. So just tin gear here. Is tin gear the only thing we need? Because they only have like 3 items. The plates are needed for quite a few things, so we do need to make one for that. Oh, do we have reinforced? What are you used for? Nothing. Tin tube used for nothing. Batteries are used for a bit, not that important. So the most important thing they're used for is pretty much all the belts and for these, so we can get the science. So yeah, it's pretty much just tin gear wheel we need. But let's make everything just so we have it in our system. That is always something I do, just to make sure. And they are all working, or at least they should all be working. Oh, we need copper cape beams down here. Oh well, that's fine, we don't have that, since I don't think those are used for anything. What are used for? Yeah, we can easily survive without those. So that is completely fine. So going back and looking at this. They're all idle now. They should be starting to produce as soon as they get that. So next episode we will make our Logi controller. I think that is the most optimal solution, since the Logi controller is used for not only that, but also for what's called, where is it at? The thing I'm thinking about, not that I can remember what it was right now, but it's used for all of these. So we kind of need to get it ASAP, so we can start to produce all the intermediate items here. As for the steel one, it should be requesting them. And Oh, we never set up the steel wire. I thought we did. Well, that makes sense. Let's just go set up the steel wire. I was sure we set that up, but I can see that wasn't the case. So that's the last thing I'll do this episode, is just request steel wire to go into our little mall, and then I'll end this episode. So while I'm doing this, hopefully you'll like and subscribe and hit that bell button. That would mean the world to me. -1000. And let's do the same for the copper cable, because I know we're going to use that for something. And we need tin gear as well. Tin gear. We'll get here at some point. And now we should be requesting a lot of that. So yeah, we can pretty much look at this and see if we are missing things, and then we need to craft that. So yeah, I will end the episode here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, please like and subscribe and hit that bell button. And then I will see you next episode. Bye, guys.